Well, good.
Rabbi Raichik is going to be speaking to us about the Origin Trail. Rabbi Raichik, first of all, thank you for taking time. Appreciate it. And tell us, what is the Origin Trail, and what is that great video that we just watched a few seconds of got us all enthusiastic for? What's that all about?
Okay, fine. Good evening. Actually, an hour ago, I was actually on another Zoom call with the teams that are going to be on our trip. So Sea Teens has been running summer trips. You may be familiar with, started a number of years ago with what's called Sea Teen Extreme. Sea Teen Extreme is a trip out 2 weeks out to the west. You start in Denver, you end up in California. You're doing national parks, Grand Canyon, et cetera, et cetera. Then a couple years ago, they started with trips to Israel. Now, practically speaking, it's like, if you want to call it birthright for teens, what's happening here is, if you're familiar with Bernie Marcus from Home Depot, a very committed Jewish person, and he has an organization called Route One. Route One will fund teenage trips to Israel if they are long enough. They can't be a short trip; they have to be a long enough trip. For kids specifically that are not day school kids. It has to be kid is not that doesn't go to day school, and he'll give a $3,000 voucher for that. Then you have then there's other, sometimes you can get from your local federation. There's another organization called Miromim that will give something for it as well. By the time the kid finishes with it, they're paying basically airfare for a 3-week trip that is going either 3 weeks to Israel or 3 weeks to a first stop and then on to Israel. Okay, so they have different names for it that Sea Teens have for it. Last year they sent about 250 kids over to Israel. This year they're somewhat, I don't know the exact numbers, they've gone up a little bit on that as well. The way the trips work is every bus is its own pocket. What do you call it? Its own environment. We're not a whole trip of 250 people. We're a trip of one bus, and this one bus has a trip leader. That's the role that I play. It has counselors, and it has anywhere from 35 to 40 teenagers on the bus, and we are touring. Either you're touring 3 weeks in Israel. We did last year. I did the Poland trip, which means you're in Poland for 4 days, leave Sunday, come to Poland Monday. You're there through late Thursday evening, arrive Friday morning in Israel. You're there until 2 weeks later, Sunday. Wow. So it's a full 21-day trip that we have. I got on the trip, I don't know. Somebody must have misidentified my birthday and decided that somehow I'm fit to do a teen trip. So they schlepped me into doing it, and I figured, hey, you know what?
So where are you going this year? Last year you say you went to Poland.
We did Poland.
What about this year?
This year we're doing Morocco. This year they're doing the Poland trip called Heritage Trail, Heritage Quest, and then they have what's called Origin Trail. It's Morocco. Same idea. Leave Sunday, come to Morocco Monday. You're in Morocco through late Thursday. Land in Israel Friday. You're in Israel 16 days until Sunday morning.
So give us a little bit of why Morocco. What is it that the kids can expect to see in Morocco specifically? Like, why is that attractive to these kids? And are all these kids, maybe you should get a little background. Are these all U.S.-based kids? Are they coming from all over the world? Who are these kids? What's their story?
Okay, our trip is all U.S.-based. So literally, we have to kids tonight from San Francisco to Alberta to New York.
Alberta's not in the U.S., just a little.
I know that. North America.
Unless there's a memo that I missed somewhere.
No. There's a couple Calgary, in Edmonton, Georgia, et cetera, et cetera. But there was, for example, last year, there was a trip that came out of England.
Wow, okay.
And this year, they have a French-speaking trip.
Oh, boy.
They have a Spanish-speaking trip going as well. So it's so they have
So are you all going to be intermingling with those kids as well, the French and Spanish kids, or is
not
your trip?
necessarily, no. If we meet them, it's by chance, not by design. So sometimes you're staying in a hotel and there's another group that happens to be in the hotel at the same time. They wanted to have everybody meet up, but when you're sitting in Israel and you have an itinerary, and one group's in Tzfas and the other group is in Jerusalem, to meet up is going to take take a full day just to go ahead and meet up. So it just wasn't feasible to make it happen.
So walk us through it. These kids, they're coming from they all fly there individually. You all meet in one central location. Right.
So
where are you meeting?
When? July. My trip is July 9th. The trips are staggered.
Okay.
So for example, the Moroccan girls trip, there's girls buses, boys buses. The Moroccan girl bus goes, I think, on the week before us, July 2nd. We're leaving July 9th.
And where are you leaving from? You all flying together?
I'm sorry?
You all flying together?
We fly from JFK together, yes.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
So the kids have to find their way to JFK. And we meet in JFK, and we're together until we land in the airport 3 weeks later.
Oh, wow. And is there some sort of special therapy or pills that you have to bring to deal with 45 teenagers for 3 weeks?
It's called Johnny Walker. We pack heavy. Listen, I want to tell you, I'm going to show you some elements of the trip.
Please.
I'll start out with the warning. You're dealing with teenagers. Rabbi Epstein, do you know what the word for teenager is in Hebrew?
What is that?
I believe it's called Shnas HaTipshus. The years of foolishness. Okay, teenagers are a powerful force, but there's a terminology in the Talmud saying you're standing at the gates of hell. Okay, because my job tonight was to put the fear of God in them. Okay, to make sure that they stay on the straight and narrow. So last year I had to send 4 boys home.
Oh boy.
We cannot take responsibility for kids who are going to decide that they're going to do their own thing. Just simply cannot take that responsibility. And there's certain rules that don't happen. There's no drugs, there's no alcohol, etc. The kids are not permitted to bring anybody into their hotel room, and they're not permitted outside of the group, and they're not permitted to go into another room of any other group. So that means if I have my C-team group in the hotel and you have your C-team group in the hotel, my kids cannot go into the rooms of your kids and vice versa.
Gotcha.
Now they can go ahead and meet in the hall and yuck it up all they want, but we try again. Are the rules followed all the time? Again, but we
were all teenagers. We get it.
Right. It's a tremendous responsibility.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
So you're all meeting up on July 9th at JFK, and you're flying to Morocco. How long a flight is that?
We land in Morocco Monday morning.
Okay.
And we're literally in Morocco through Thursday night.
Oh wow! What is going on in Morocco? I mean, what is the plan?
Morocco, I had to look it up. I've never been to Morocco. So the reason why we're in these places, there's an organization called J-Roots. J-Roots means Jewish Roots. They organize tours of older Jewish communities. So they have these tours of Poland and tours in, not Ukraine now, but you know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. So they have this tour of Morocco that they do as well. And the truth is, I'll be honest to you, I don't know what we're going to see in Morocco. I went through the itinerary. I have it over here sitting on my table. I don't know what we're going to see. We're going to go to Casablanca. We're going to Marrakesh. We're not going to Fez. For those who know the Rif, the Alphas, that's from Alphas is from Fez. That's where the
one of the great commentaries on the Talmud.
Right, one of the primary halachic authorities based on the Talmud, but it's like on the other side. It's 3 hours away. So we're going to go and see. We're going to see old Sephardic. I imagine an older Sephardic type of life. And the truth is, if you can ask me Morocco, I haven't done my study on Morocco yet as to what we're going to see. We're going to see old Sephardic traditions, When I spoke to the kids were more excited about Morocco than about Israel. It sounds who knows what. That's fine. Let that be.
So these kids, like, how do they find out about this trip? How do they get interested in this trip?
Okay, so it's seating. You have seating in Chicago. You have
Sure.
Rabbi Posner and Skokie is running a very active group.
Mm-hmm.
We had a kid from Chicago last year on my Poland trip.
Oh, wow.
He was actually one.
Hope he wasn't one of the kids you sent back.
No. It was a great kid. He made with one of the counselors. They did a morning video and a breakfast analysis. It was called Breakfast with Joey. And he would post it, the counselor would post it on his WhatsApp, and all his friends saw it. And this kid became famous because of Breakfast with Joey. He's actually by Rabbi Flinkenstein in Wilmette.
Sure.
So we had a Chicago kid there. So that you have the seatings and you're marketing it to your flock. I mean, I have a kid who's also going on a summer trip, not on my trip. I don't want any of my kids on my trip because
you see enough of them during the year
differently than I do normally.
I got you. So walk us through a little bit of the itinerary. And if you got some pictures or something you can show us, we'd love to see it.
Yeah, I can show you. Let me show you last year. I'm going to show you a couple things, okay? I can show the itinerary, Morocco, let's skip. I want to show you some highlights that I had last year on the trip.
Sure.
Okay? So I'm going to share with you my Facebook page. That's where I got my pictures stored. Teenagers are powerful. Be honest. They're powerful. You get them going and the energy just goes.
Mm-hmm.
And they got excited. When they got excited, there were certain times that were really beautiful times that we had with that we had. I mean, a very energetic group. I don't have again, this is just what I put on my Facebook page. There's a bunch more stuff that that is out there. But I'm just going to give you an idea, okay? So let's start over here. Okay. So here we're in. Okay. Okay. This is the picture in JFK.
There you are in the center.
I'm in the center. Right. Where am I?
Those kids
right
look like they're in their 20s. They got beards. These kids are teenagers?
No, those are my counselors.
No, the kid standing up in the black. Well, he looks like he's ready to go vote.
Could be. Yeah. And then this is in Poland. This is Auschwitz. We have all the kids wearing tzitzis, etc., etc. Some of these kids got moved more, some kids less. Poland is a difficult place. I'm from Poland. I'm going to show you a little bit about that too. It's a difficult place. This is there's a forest where they basically herded all the Jews from the nearby town into a forest. They wiped them out. And they're buried in this area. They don't know exactly where. They have these portioned area. This was actually when we were there. Here, if you see in the side, what the name of the place is, right? Zojafol, whatever. It was the 80th anniversary of this.
Oh, wow.
And in town, there was this whole ceremony for it.
So do the kids grasp the enormity of it? I mean, these are, American suburban kids on their Xboxes.
Right.
Were they able to digest this idea?
Because kids come today and everybody has buds and get their attention. And everybody today, I mean, listen, everybody's on their phones, get their attention to what's going on. A very big challenge that you have. Okay? So this is this area, the mass, again, July 9th, and we were literally there on the 80th anniversary.
Wow.
Not that it was planned, but that's how it worked out. This is Treblinka.
Oh, boy.
So Treblinka, this says Malava. Malava is where my father is from.
Wow.
His father was killed, his whole family was wiped out in Treblinka. So this is like a monument stone that they have for all these different, see all these stones that they have for all the different cities where they took people from Treblinka. Okay? This is Treblinka as well. I missed something here. I missed something that I wanted to show. I want to speak a movement. You see this video?
Kids jumping. Yeah, sure. Dancing.
I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to re-share with audio.
Okay, please.
I'll tell you where this is. Okay, this is by Rabbi Limelech of Lezhensk. After Auschwitz, we went to Lezhensk. We're all familiar with Rabbi Limelech, Abzush's brother. He's like the father of Polish Hasidim. A very big place. Not a very big place. It's a small place, but it's one of those places where they're making a lot of Jewish tourism and they have all these tourist places there. So we go, it's already at nighttime, we eat dinner, then we go to the Ohel, right, to the resting place, and there comes in a group of English boys. They're on English tour, right? And the two groups, and they're more of a Frum Orthodox, and these kids just break out in song and dance and singing and dancing together. Really, a really moving moment. If there's one moment in Poland, right, that touched me, that was that moment. Okay? That was really, really something nice.
Wow.
Do we want to continue? Just continue with this? This works?
I think we're going to let, if anybody wants to jump in with a question. Otherwise, we're going to let the rabbi go. We appreciate your time. Wish you great hatzlacha.
I want to show you, if you can let me go, that's fine.
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, we want to respect your time. We appreciate it. We know it's later.
It's fine. I can go through this. It's not a big deal. I'm going to show you. I'll go through the pictures a little quicker. There's one thing I wanted to okay, so this is this. Okay. Here's what I want to give me a second, because I want to share with the audio.
What's the website, people? Is it too late to sign up?
Well, yeah, at this point, yes.
Oh, well.
But keep it in mind for next year. If you have, it goes for 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. Okay. It's the 17th of Tammuz, Shuv Asar b'Tammuz.
Fast day.
Okay? Fast day. We're mourning the destruction of the temple. So that morning we go and we're praying by the tomb of Rachel. Okay?
So you're in Israel now.
This is what you're looking at over here. You come into the tomb of Rachel, black hats everywhere. This is what we're doing. Listen carefully. We're doing Avinu Malkeinu.
In English.
What was fascinating about that? What's fascinating about that? One second. What's fascinating about that is like this. We did the same at the Kotel for Mincha that afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming into a place, you know what? I don't have to describe to you what the Kotel looks like.
Yeah.
And you're sitting and praying out loud in English.
Uh-huh.
And I'm waiting for someone to react. We got such beautiful responses from all of the people, all the Haredi, what do we call them? What do you want to call, whatever title you want to put on them? I don't like the word Haredi, right? It was such a beautiful moment, okay? That how people came over to us thanking us for what we were doing.
Wow.
Right? For me, that was a very touching moment personally. I'm going to show you one other such moment, okay?
Sure.
This is a picture. Okay. Over here, we are sitting outside by the tomb of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai in Meron. We daven Shachris, and then I was supposed to do a learning class with the kids. There's no place to sit. I sit down the kids on the floor in a circle, and we have a discussion. Okay? This is what it looks like. And that's me over there, obviously. And again, the responses that we got was just so amazing. And that's really, it's uplifting to me, right? Because, again, I can play in that crowd without a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing in these kids, this is what they look like, shorts, etc. And people were just thanking us for that which we were doing.
Oh, barbecue.
Yeah, that was a different one. Okay. Again, I don't have many pictures over here. This is by I'll show you a couple things over here.
Do you live stream these? Like if we wanted to follow your trip while you're in Morocco, is there a way for us to sort of follow it online?
Live stream, I would say just go ahead and get to my Facebook page. It's gonna be your best bet.
Okay.
Okay. This is up north in an army base, an isolated base, sitting by the foothills of Lebanon. Okay. And this is what the thing looks like, etc. So the guys tell us this is in a field nearby, and that's back here is the fence between Israel and Lebanon. And the guy says, the boys on the base have nothing. There's no recreation. So we sponsored a basketball hoop for them. Yeah, I delivered to them a basketball hoop and basketballs. The guy sent me back videos of the maybe I'll if I go through it, maybe I find it. Of
soldiers playing basketball.
Soldiers playing basketball. This is in Kibbutz Lavi. This is a Sefer Torah that was saved from the Holocaust.
Wow.
This is up north. This is Masada.
Mm-hmm.
You see up there, right? The rising, you go up in the morning, you're rising up. This is in Mayonot. So we take the boys to yeshiva, let them experience a yeshiva. Now you see how they're dressed and how this guy's dressed. And this, if you're familiar with the Mayonot yeshiva, it's basically for people that are late starters. And they sat and they learned with them, and then the guys who from the yeshiva were telling them their life story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was like this, and I said I come to yeshiva, and they were telling their experience of coming to yeshiva. This is the last night at the Kotel.
Wow.
We go Saturday night. We're dancing at the Kotel. Let me see one thing. Give me 1 second. I just want to show you if I can. Give me August. I should be able to come up with. Give me a second. I'm sorry, you're going to see a bunch of other stuff too. But we should have here. Give me a second. Got to be in August because it got delivered. Here we go.
No, they're playing basketball with your basketball hoop.
This is the basketball hoop, right?
With the machine guns.
Exactly correct. So this is the basketball hoop that we sponsored.
Nice.
So this is the picture of all the kids at there, and this is the basketball hoop coming there.
Nice. Look at that. There it is. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow, Rabbi, thank you so much. This sounds like a fantastic trip. A lot better than just going to day camp and learning how to do lanyard and so on. What a wonderful trip. So we wish you the Siyat Tova, a good journey, and maybe we'll have you on in the end of the summer and you'll give us a report about Morocco and your trip to Eretz Yisrael. We'd love that.
God willing. Thank you for your time.
Okay, safe travels. Tfilas Haderech. Okay, everybody, tomorrow night we'll do some Pirkei Avos. Thank you to Rabbi Raichik. Really appreciate your time. Hatzlacha Rabbah. All should go wonderfully.